Now we burn incense in regard to the precepts, meditation, and emancipation. May the light and fragrant cloud of this incense pervade the Dharma world. We offer this incense to the countless Buddhas of the worlds of the 10 directions. May we be able to see and partake of the fragrance of the world of tranquil extinction. Laico. Place your hands in Gasho. Right high. Dojo Han. Seeding the dojo. Know this place in which we find ourselves now is a dojo, a place of Buddhist training. All Buddhas come to this place and attain perfect enlightenment. All Buddhas come to this place and turn the wheel of the Dharma. All Buddhas come to this place and enter into Nirvana. Om Om Santi, the three treasures. It is difficult to be born as a human being. I have now realized such a birth. To hear the teaching of the Buddha is difficult. I have now been able to hear it. I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Namu Renge Kyo. Place your hands before Kaijomi. Put your yuzu on your left wrist. Yuzu. Place your hands slightly in your lap. Left hand, right hand, thumb stepping lightly. And try to keep it as if you're just barely holding a piece of paper. I'm going to root out. Rolling your shoulders back, allowing your spine to do the work. As you breathe in, please breathe in through your nose, filling your hara, your stomach, your dantian. As you fill your mind there, as you let it out. There are our bodies and our minds center and calm us so that we can chant the old diamond. Oshi. Namu. Time of meditation to feel the sublime dharma of the old Daimoku preciousness.
Echo. We respect you deeply. We will all be able to practice the way of bodhisattvas and become. May the merits we have accumulated by this offering be distributed among all living beings and all other. Today we remember those in sickness and distress. We remember Gail Bull, Barbara Hardaway, Frank Parker, Catherine May, Ricky Terrell, William Shook, James Hicks, Lynn Lawson, Bill Floyd, Bessie Floyd. We also remember those as well who have passed. Hardaway family, Roland Crane family, the Winter Sparks families, Mountain, Jack Parker, Bigelow and Johnson family, Joe from DeVoe family, Christine, Daniel Mayer and Cheryl Cushman, Bay family, Rebus family, Kazuko Jordan, Stephen and Kobayashi families, the Morrissey family, Jordan, Todd family, Kazmarski family, the Knott family, Sumiko Suzuki, Dennis Sullivan, Ray Pacorn, Leo Sensei, Harp Sensei, Earl Scott, Williams, Aunt Barbara, Michael Hay, David Smith, all those who have none to pray. Amen. Today I'd like to briefly discuss our mandala effort to continue our study and practice. This particular mandala gonsan was actually penned by Kansei Shonin, our 33rd Jushoku, head of our home temple in Saga, Japan. on the southern island of Kyushu. Saga is a very small town, rice-growing community, so the temple is surrounded by rice fields, almost in a sea of water, it looks like, in the high rice season. It also has one of only 2 Shinto jinjas in Kyushu. So it also has a Shinto shrine, well, in our graveyard area. Very rare thing. We are intimately tied to Nishin Shonen, the pot-wearing saint, who was a very interesting and powerful figure within Nichiren Buddhism, about 100 years after Nichiren Shonen passed. He came to our home temple and debated the current priest of that temple about 550 years ago, about 200 years after our temple was founded. And so our temple was a Shingon temple. It was a temple that did lots of esoteric rituals and such. Nishin Shonen came and debated the priest, and the priest lost the debate and converted to Nichiren Buddhism, and we've been a Nichiren Buddhist temple ever since. We still maintain some of the flavors of our original heritage, but everything is through the lens of the studio. What's interesting about our mandala is that it is not a pictographic mandala. So we're used to picture mandalas like we see in the Tibetan tradition, Tendai tradition. However, Nichiren Shonen was a calligrapher. So he penned the same style of mandala, but in calligraphy as opposed to in pictures. And each one of the calligraphic lines that you see is a name of someone who wrote the Sermon in the Air, which is the seminal portion of the Lotus Sutra where the Buddha reveals that he is the eternal Buddha, just the historical Shakyamuni. And at that seminal point in the Lotus Sutra is after Prabhujaratma Tathagata, treasures, comes in a golden stupa out of the earth, chapter 11, the golden stupa treasures. And basically what's happened is that the Buddha says, people have asked, can you please, Buddha, you've taught us all of these teachings, can you please teach us the one teaching that will make us Buddhas in this life? Can you teach us, what teaching is that? And the Buddha basically says, it's the highest teaching, and I've saved it, and now you're ready. And he says, before I can teach this, though, I have to set the stage, so to speak. And at this point, there's a rumbling that's heard from under the earth, and a golden stupa comes rising out of the ground inside the stupa. And I always imagine it looking a little bit like an Aztec. And inside the stupa is heard a voice.
Excellent, excellent. What you have said is all true.
So you hear this voice as the Buddha says, I'm about to preach the Lotus Sutra. This golden stupa comes from underground. And voice is heard from inside. That basically, I am an ancient Buddha who has come to, I've made a vow that I will come and I will ratify, I will affirm the words of any Buddha who preaches the Lotus Sutra, so that there can be some sort of supernatural occurrence that will make the people that are hearing this understand just how amazing and valuable this is. And when this happens, the congregation is very obviously dismayed. What is this? And they ask the Buddha to please open the door and let them see this Buddha. But the Buddha says, I cannot do that right now. First, I have to call back all of my emanations, all of the other incarnations of the Buddha, all the other manifestations of the Buddha. So it's said that the Buddha then took everyone and rose them up into the air and opens the gates to all of these billions and billions of worlds. And once he does, he purifies them. He removes all separations. It says that the mountains go flat and the seas dry and all of these things. And symbolically what it's saying is he's removing the divisions between people. And symbolically, all of these worlds, they describe huge, tall beings taller than our Earth, and some small, tiny Buddhas and all of these billions and billions of emanations with their students and their students and their students. And this is not necessarily to say that these things actually happen, but what it is meant to do is to show that there are no divisions between any of us in this practice of becoming a Buddha. And that we are all on an equal plane together, receiving this teaching, regardless of who we are. And the reason that it's symbolically lifted into the air is to remove it from a historical time and place. And the reason that we remove it from a historical time and place, or the reason that the Buddha removes it from a historical time and place, because he's putting it in symbolic time, into symbolic space for us all to be able to enter into that seminal moment together. According to the Lotus Sutra, in the analogies that are used for time, they love to use what's called a kalpa, which is described in lots of different ways. But one of the ways is to count every grain of sand in the river Ganges and multiply that by every grain of the river sand in the river Ganges, and that's the number of years in the kalpa. So wow, that's a lot of years. And so it's said that it lasted innumerable kalpa. This whole sermon that we're just sort of touching on. And someone recently did the math of what it would be, and in actuality, it would have to take the time frame not only from then till now, but the duration of the life of the universe is the duration of the time symbolically that this sermon is going on. So for me, as a 21st century person who's just fascinated by string theory and physics, that means that the seminal chapters of chapter 15 through 21, when the Bodhisattva from under the earth arise and come, as the Buddha has opened the gate, the doors to the treasure tower, and the many treasures Buddha moves to the side, and the Buddha sits in equal space with him and begins to preach the Lotus Sutra. As he's preaching, he keeps asking, who's going to carry on this teaching? Who's going to carry on this teaching? And everyone's like raising their hand. They're like, I'll do it. I'll do it. And the Buddha's like, no, you're good. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Someone's coming. And it progresses through, and eventually it's the Bodhisattva from under the earth who spring up, and everybody in the retinue looks around and is like, what the heck's going on? Where are all these people coming from? What makes them so special? And in reality, it's this concept that these billions of Bodhisattva from under the earth are us. We're the people of the earth. You know, we're the ones that the teaching has to not only come from, but through. So as we come up through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, as we sit in front of the Mandala Gohansan, this is a window, a doorway to that sermon in the air. When we come and we practice, we are symbolically, if not actually, coming up from under the ground to affirm to the Buddha that we'll be the ones to carry this teaching on for you, Buddha. We'll be the ones to share and save all sentient beings when you're gone, Buddha. We take on that responsibility as the center of our lives. So when we're in here, we're not just mindlessly chanting this mantra to help ourselves. We're not just practicing this theoretical magic to change the world. We are actually affirming the Buddha himself and showing up. Right? Every Sunday you come, some people come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, some people do their services at home every day, but when you sit in front of your Gohansan or your Ofuda Mandala or just in front of a statue of the Buddha or just with your hands in Gasho, you are springing up at that seminal moment when the Buddha is teaching the Lotus Sutra to all of us and affirming that you are here to do the good work, to help. And that's what I think is amazing. You know, is that the sermon in the air could go on forever. And we could all constantly enter in through the Gohansan, through our hearts, through Namu. So even when we're doing Shaddai, there's something as simple as sitting in meditation we are symbolically entering into those seminal points of the sermon in the air, affirming to the Buddha that we're here to do the good work. So this week, when you go out and do the good work. You know, it's not necessarily get people to chant Namu what you do. That's great. If you can, you know, that's great. But don't turn them off to Buddhism. Just go out and be of service and benefit to more people. And don't use the excuse that I'm screwed up as the reason that you're not going to help someone, because that doesn't really matter. You're in the process of bettering yourself because you're trying to do this for all sentient beings, but you don't need to wait. Do it now. Help people now. Help yourself now. Thank you all very much. We have rice and looks like we have some wonderful ginger tea with that. Thank you, Ed. And thank you very much.
Everyone, too, if we can hurry up and gather for a picture first before we take off. We'll start taking off.
Dad?
Go ahead and leave your white aces on for the picture.
Hi, beautiful. Gosh, you look amazing.
Look at her.
It is fantastic. I know. Each week you outdo yourself.
Why is Friday?
Yep, each week you outdo yourself. Will you come take a picture with me, baby?
Oh, all right.
Oh, I love your book. I just got that one for Xander.
Uncle, this what the
Water right here. So.
Okay, we'll find it. It's raining. We'll find the leak and then I'll explain it to you. Here, first picture, right? And then.
There is a floor. No,
Here's just the way. But occasionally we have conversations. Hey, how's it going? Okay, let's all line up. Come on, sweetie. Where'd Maisha go? Sure, I don't have to do that. Hook your head up. It's okay. And I'll make it on the phone. Oh, there she is. All right.
Towel to get that.
Hold it. All right, guys. Oh, here. Scooch. There we go.
Guys ready?
Mhm.
All right. All right, someone's
All right,
swap out.
Maisha,
All right.
Very handy. One more picture with Barbara. All right, let's have lunch. We have some miso soup today, and we have rice, and we have the furikake, and then we got some seaweed. Oh, tofu.
House special.
Ooh, we got some house special tofu.
Did you open your life with passion?